Today's training is going to take a look at Wakelet. Wakelet is a fairly new curation tool that is being used by teachers all over the world and is really popular right now. It allows you to pull websites and video and Twitter, social media, pictures, podcasts, everything together in one place as you're getting ready to teach a lesson or to share with your students. It kind of reminds me a lot of an old tool that I used to use called Squirrel, which allowed you to pull together a bunch of different websites. It also reminds me a lot of S'mores, if you ever use S'mores in order to present information. It reminds me of Pinterest. It also kind of reminds me of HyperDocs. It's kind of a mishmash of all of those things to get all of the information that you want to share in one place. One of the first things that you're going to want to do as you're learning to use Wakelet is to download and look over the Educator's Guide. So if you go to wakelet.com and you go to For Educators, you'll see that you have the option to download the Educator's Guide. It puts it into a number of different languages for you, so I will be choosing English, and then I will click download. This document has been put together by teachers who use Wakelet, and it is updated from time to time, so you will get the most up-to-date information as possible. And just scrolling down through here, you'll see the folks that put it together and the table of contents, getting started and creating an account and setting up your profile and all of the things to get started using Wakelet. The other thing that you're going to want to do is that you are going to want to download the Google Chrome Wakelet extension. So in order to get that extension, what you're going to do is you're going to go up and you're going to click on the Google Apps Launcher, and you may have to scroll back and forth from one side to the next depending on where your web store is, but you're going to want to find Web Store. And then you're going to search for Wakelet. And then you're just going to click Add to Chrome. And it's asking you if you want to add the extension or not. We're going to say add it. That's what we're looking for. It's going to give us a handy dandy video here that you will want to watch when you install the Wakelet extension that tells you how you can use the Wakelet extension. The extension is this blue W that's up here in the extension bar. One of the things you'll also want to notice is the first time I ever installed this, every time I clicked on a new tab, it brought up this Wakelet tab, and it kind of messed me up a little bit here because I'm used to seeing the Google page as you are, and that's what I wanted to see. Now I can click login and it will take me to the login screen, which is what I'm going to want to do eventually. And then if I click a new tab again, notice it takes me to that Wakelet screen again, and that is not what I want to do. And if you look here, it says want to turn off the Wakelet tab, find out how. That's what we're going to want to do. And the easiest way to do that is just to come up and right click on your Wakelet extension and go to Options, and you're going to click on that little slider, and that's going to disable the Wakelet extension for new tabs. So now when I click on a new tab, I will see the Google tab instead of the Wakelet tab. If this were on, when I clicked new tab, it would take me to this Wakelet page, and that's not where I want to be. So we're going to make sure that slider is off, and that will make your life a little bit easier. So now what can I do with Wakelet? So the biggest thing that I think you can do with Wakelet is as you're researching on how to teach some new topic. Maybe it's you're going to teach a lesson on Star Wars. There are things that you're going to want your students to know. You may or may not want them to see Wikipedia, but if you do, you can always click on the Wikipedia link, and then when you're ready, you can come up and click on your handy dandy Wakelet button, and it's going to give you the options of where to save this and where to put it. So we're going to add this as a bookmark. So I'm going to click Save. I could also put this into a specific collection, or I could create a new collection. So right now I'm just going to put this in as a bookmark. And so as I'm going through and researching Star Wars, maybe I want to go out to Twitter and I want to find some articles or some tweets about Star Wars. So maybe this is something that I want to add in. If I click on this tweet, I then have the ability, if you'll notice down here, there's a blue W. I can click on the blue W for Wakelet, and I can add this into, I'm going to actually create a new collection for this. I'm going to give my collection a name. We're going to call it Star Wars and all about Star Wars. I'm going to click Create. And so now I am going to save this to my Star Wars account here. So all I have to do is continue researching. So maybe I'm looking for images. Maybe I want to find this guy here, and I want to add him into my Wakelet. I can do that by coming down and clicking on, let's see, share, or is it more options? Let's see here. I can right click on it. I can say save to Wakelet, and it will pull in that picture. We're going to save it to Star Wars. Okay. And so what starts happening is, back over in Wakelet, you'll see that if I hit refresh here, that Star Wars collection that we created should show up. I can view the collection here. And the things that I added in directly into this Wakelet are going to show up and be there. Also, if I wanted to add a bookmark, so actually, since we're in here, I'm gonna go into edit. This is what you and your students would see as a finished Wakelet. I'm gonna go into edit collection, and if I want to add in some different things or maybe move some things around, I can do that. Maybe I don't want this picture to be first. Maybe I want it to be here at the end. I can click and drag and move those things around. I can also add a cover image. I can either upload it from my computer or I can choose from a library. So we'll see if Star Wars has anything here that shows up. So let's use the stormtroopers there. And then I can also have a full cover image, a half cover image if I would prefer. Just kind of shrinks it up a little bit. And my media view right now is in this display view where it kind of gives some bigger chunks. I have a compact view, a grid view. I have a mood board. I kind of like this media view, and then also have a easy reorder mode if I wanted to click and drag multiple things. If I have a whole lot of things, that's very handy, but for just two things, I can click and drag and move those things fairly easily. If I want to just come in here and add things and use this as my base, all I have to do is click on the plus, and I have all of the different options here. I can add URLs. So if I want to paste a URL in here, maybe I want starwars.com. I can then add that in, and it will put in starwars.com. And then I can click on the plus sign. I can add text, and so I can start writing something here. This lesson is all about Star Wars. I want you to watch, read, and do the following. Alright, so I'm going to click save, and actually I probably want that at the top. And what I can do with this is I can basically create a lesson layout for my students and have them walk through and watch and do these things. Obviously this is just, you know, some goofy something that I'm putting together here, so you know, there's no real purpose to this lesson. I can put in tweets, so just like I mentioned before, you can go to Twitter and you can add them in that way, or you can search using hashtags. And I'm just going to add that in for fun, and I can come in and I can add bookmarks. So earlier in the training session I showed you how to make a bookmark, and I hadn't done anything with it yet. In order to add a bookmark, you actually have to add bookmarks. So if I go to bookmarks, you'll see that I have a couple of different things in here that I've added as bookmarks. The only Star Wars bookmark I've added is that one from Wikipedia. So if I just click that and add, then I will have my bookmark added in there as well. Images, again, you can upload those images from your computer, or you can choose them from a library. You can also put in PDFs if you have PDFs that you want to include. You can pull in things from your Google Drive, OneDrive if you're using that, and then also the cool thing about this is that you can put in Flipgrid videos. So if you have a Flipgrid that you would like your students to do as part of this, or if you want to share Flipgrid videos with them, then you can do that as well. So Wakelet kind of also uses Flipgrid, which is kind of neat there. Once you get this the way you want it, you can then go to save and exit. Oh, also, actually, the other thing I want to mention to you is, well, we can add a background image. We'll choose from a library. We're just going to choose this for fun. That has nothing to do with Star Wars, but just so you can see, it's got some stars back there, so that's kind of cool. We can also allow people to copy this or not. We can change it from private to unlisted, which if you're going to share this with your students, you probably want to do. And then also save and exit. Make sure you don't hit delete, because it will delete it. Some students, when they create these, accidentally hit delete instead of save. So now you have this. You can also add in contributors. So if you want to work on this with other teachers and maybe come up with one Wakelet all together, you can add in, invite other people just like you can in Google Classroom. You can do that via email, or you can send them a link. And then also you can embed this into your website like we were saying, or you can share out with a link. So that's kind of how it looks here all together. So this is how it would look in an actual lesson. So this is a lesson created by Robin Thompson, Crazy Miss T, and she has done this Wakelet for geography. So you can kind of see she's got some nice backgrounds here that deal with geography. And if you come down through here, it will tell her students exactly what to do. Create a new collection in Wakelet, add in some different things, where she's going to have them mark their place and do different things. Here's an example of pulling in a Google map, and it just walks them through everything that they need to do for this project, which is awesome. Also notice that it has Immersive Reader built in.